First thing first, I'm going to tell you about country information. In political system, Nigeria is a republic with a federal democracy and an executive president. The president is head of both state and government and leads the Federal Executive Council, which is cabinet. Legislative power is vested on the government and the bicameral legislature. The latter consists of the House of Representatives and the Senate. The House of Representatives have 360 members elected for a 4-year term in single-seat constituencies. The Senate have 109 members elected for a 4-year term in 3-seat constituencies, which corresponds to the country states and seat in a single-seat constituency, the capital, which is Abuja. The president is selected every 4 years by universal of adult suffrage and is required to include at least one representative of each of the 36 states in the cabinet.
Country information, economy. The Nigerian economy is one of the largest in Africa. Since the late 1960s, it has been based primarily on the petroleum industry. A series of world oil price increase from 1973 produced rapid economic growth in transportation, construction, manufacturing and government service. Great influx of rural people in larger urban centers. Agricultural production stagnated to such extent that cash crops such as palm oil, peanut and cotton were no longer significant export commodities. About 1975, Nigeria was forced to import such a basic commodity as rice, cassava and domestic consumption. Resource extraction is the most important sector of the economy. The most economically valuable minerals are crude oil, natural gas, coal, tin, columbite, and iron-bearing mineral that accompanies tin. Most of oil output comes from onshore field in the Niger Delta, although an increasing proportion of the crude is produced at offshore locations. There are oil refineries at Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna. Nigeria possesses significant reserves of coal, but these deposits are being developed gradually. Coal is used by the railroad, by traditional metal industries and by power plants to generate electricity. Coal mining initially concentrated around the city of Enugu and its environs began in 1915. It declined after the late 1950s in the discovery of oil, but subsequently increased.
Country information, type of government. The federal government of Nigeria is composed of 3 distinct branches, legislative, executive and the judicial, whose power are vested by the Constitution of Nigeria in the National Assembly, the President and the Federal Courts, including the Supreme Court, respectively. The Constitution provides a separation and balance of power among the 3 branches and aims to prevent the repetition of past mistakes made by the government. Nigeria is a federal republic with executive power exercised by the President. The President is the head of state, the head of government and the head of a multi-party system. Nigerian politics take place within a framework of a federal, presidential, representative, democratic republic in which executive power is exercised by the government. Legislative power is held by the federal government and the 2 chambers of the legislature, the House of Representatives and the Senate. Together, the 2 chambers make up the law-making body in Nigeria, called the National Assembly, which serves as a check on the executive arm of government. The Economist Intelligence Unit made Nigeria a hybrid regime in 2019. The federal government, state and local government of Nigeria aim to work cooperatively to govern the nation and its people. Nigeria became a member of British Commonwealth, opened its independence from British colonial rule on 1 October 1960.
NGN is the currency code for the Nigerian Naira, the official currency for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Nigerian Naira is made up of 100 kobos. As of December 2020, $1 is equal to around 380 NGN. This is the symbol of NGN. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, is the sole issuer of legal tender money throughout the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It controls the volume of money supplied in the economy in order to ensure monetary and price stability. The Currency Operation Department of the CBN is in charge of currency management through the design, procurement, distribution and supply, processing, reissue and disposal or disintegration of banknotes and coins. The official exchange rate set by the Central Bank of Nigeria, Naira to US dollar, is approximately 441.33 cents per $1. This rate is almost 2 times different from the real exchange rate on the black market. The real exchange rate of the Naira to US dollar is approximately Naira 752.50 cents per $1 on black market.
For Nigeria phosphate dimension, Power Distant Nigeria scores high on this dimension, score of 80, which means that people accept a hierarchical order in which everybody has a place and which needs no further justification. Hierarchy in an organization is seen as reflecting inherent inequalities. Centralization is also popular. Subordinates expect to be told what to do, and the ideal boss is a benevolent autocrat. The second one is individualism. Nigeria, with a score of 30, is considered a collectivistic society. This is manifest in a close long-term commitment to the member group, be that a family, extended family, or extended relationships. Loyalty in a collectivist culture in paramount and overrides most other societal rules and regulations.
The third one is masculinity. Nigeria scores 60 on this dimension and is thus a masculine society. In masculine countries, people in life in order to work. Managers are expected to be decisive and assertive. The emphasis is on equity, competition and performance, and conflicts are resolved by fighting them out. The fourth one is uncertainty avoidance. Nigeria received an intermediate score of 55 on this dimension, which does not show a clear preference. The last one is long-term orientation. Nigeria scores a very low, which is 13 on this dimension, meaning that its culture is normative instead of pragmatic. People in such societies have a strong concern with establishing the absolute truth. They are normative in their thinking. They exhibit great respect for traditions, a relatively small propensity to save for the future, and a focus on achieving quick results.
Hi, my name is Adi Batu Syahida binti Burhan. My metric number is 11, TPI 21F 2019. So I want to tell about how to conduct business in Nigeria. Respecting the hierarchy in Nigeria, business culture is hierarchical in nature. People generally defer to those who are older than them or who occupy a higher official position than they do. Respect is such a big part of Nigerian culture. Besides that, communication style, which is most business owners in Nigeria are proficient in English. It means most of your communication will happen in English. Therefore, communication style will vary amongst, which means that to operate a business in Nigeria, you will have to be attentive and shift your communication style to match each business professional with whom you make a connection. Media. Nigeria's media scene is one of the most vibrant in Africa. State run radio and TV service reach virtually all parts of the country and operate at a federal and regional level. All 36 states run their own radio station, and most of them operate TV service. Despite high level of violence, the private press still occasionally criticize the government.